Welcome everybody to another fantastic episode from yours truly, Spot of Nerd. We have got quite the interesting streaming television episode things to discuss in this. I have to be very careful, so you're gonna have to bear with me. The long story short of it, what is currently making the rounds as far as I personally, and you can see with other channels, nerd channels or review channels that have reviewed this specific thing, this is a giant leap forward into finally, I think if anything, finally getting the silent majority to almost gain that confidence to finally start to speak out. Just like we do here with Spot of Nerd, because I think the time has come where enough is enough in relation to basically pushing the real world into the fantasy world, aka television and movies. Like I've said, the sad truth is we do have to be careful, especially if you have a job and you have benefits, you have bills, etc., so on and so forth. But I think what it does ultimately come down is, I do think it is now okay that we finally have a discussion about it. Neither side is right or wrong, and this is the best part about what we're going to talk about, because we are going to talk about South Park and the Panderverse. Now, right out of the gate, you gotta take into account, with South Park has always crossed that line. They have crossed so many lines in the past, in the present, in the future, etc., that a lot of people, they can't even comprehend. I mean, they have touched subjects on things that would get anybody either fired, killed, or everything in between. And that's bad, but it's also great in terms of entertainment. I am not promoting violence. I'm not promoting anybody get killed, etc., so on and so forth. But what I am saying is, with this current episode, streaming, movie, whatever you want to call it, South Park and the Panderverse, the best thing that South Park does when it comes to certain issues or ideologies, etc., they hit both sides. And I think that is the biggest takeaway, hopefully, that you'll get from this, which, by the way, I will not really go into the details of it. Simply look online, look up South Park, Panderverse. I'm pretty sure you can put two and two together. The reason I want to talk about it, one of my biggest escapes from the real world, especially being a conservative, being right-wing, being patriotic for the love of God, and yes, that does mean patriotic towards being from Great Britain to also being here in the United States. I am eternally patriotic to what America provides. Now, what I've just said, what might seem like the majority right now on social media, etc., might consider me a bigot and a racist and a homophobe and everything in between. When the fact of the matter is, it couldn't be further from the truth. And you know it. Everybody knows it. This is why it's so amazing what South Park did in this episode, because they are pushing every button. They're making fun of the fans. They're making fun of the woke agenda. They're making fun of specific people that are destroying franchises because, honestly, ask any nerd, any fandom, because they're greedy and they're rich and they're selfish and they want nothing more than to destroy what we cherish and what we love. I've said this many times, broken record. There's probably going to be a lot of broken records throughout this episode, but the bottom line is, the real world is shit sometimes. Let's be very clear about that. I would consider myself a realist. You say, some might say I'm a negative Nancy or, Debbie Downer, whatever it is. I'm just a realist. It hasn't even been a month since the worst tragedy ever occurred in Israel, where 1,300 men, women, and children were brutally murdered at the hands of Hamas terrorists. Now, we don't need to go down that road right now, but the bottom line is, to escape the horrors of such things in the real world, we turn to the television, we turn to the streaming, we turn to the video games, we turn to the movies, so on and so forth. We don't want that crap anywhere near it. And I don't mean that in a sense of disrespect, because yes, you must respect those that have died, you must respect those that are currently fighting for freedom, for independence, whatever it might be. When it comes to fictional stories, fictional characters, fictional anything, put XYZ here. We used to have a culture where we could discuss and just be excited and passionate about these stories and about these characters and about these environments and about these worlds. And now we are more divided than ever. And it's one of those things, if you ask me, I do sincerely think it's all by design. But what South Park did in this episode is they have taken the first step. They have taken that first step into basically saying, I made fun of you, I made fun of you, you're both fucked up. Can we just have a good laugh now? That is literally everything I took from this South Park episode. You're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit, you're still pretty cool, you're still pretty cool. Ha ha ha, let's just have a great time. It's that simple. It really is, and you can tell by the passion, by the excitement, and the way we're presenting this content just in my channel right now. It just gave me that big sigh of relief, because finally somebody wasn't afraid to go there. That is one of the biggest takeaways of all from this entire episode, because full transparency, I have not watched South Park in a very long time. Every once in a while, I'll check out an episode. Somebody might recommend something, hey, go watch it, blah, 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 blah. But it's been a very long time since I've consistently watched South Park. When I saw this and I started hearing about it, whether through my other nerd review channel people, Nerdrotic specifically, I really was like, okay, I gotta check this out. I gotta see what it's all about. And I was not disappointed. We have to be able to talk about these issues. We have to have a laugh. We have to be able to joke again. If you haven't take a second and look around for a moment. Everybody is miserable. God forbid you laugh at a joke. Now try being a conservative in the Pacific Northwest. Which again, we will be actually we're gonna have a little series about that in the future, so stay tuned. But what I'm trying to get at is, for the love of God, can we finally just put these issues aside for just a split second? Maybe talk to each other, maybe have a good laugh about something, instead of just division. I mean, I was even thinking about it the other day where, you look online, it doesn't matter what it is, it's always hate, negative, don't like, you're stupid, blah blah blah. Nothing is ever good anymore. You look at this episode of South Park in the Panderverse, this is actually the opposite of unfortunate, because this is somebody, obviously the writers and the directors of South Park, they have crossed, like I said, so many lines and so many barriers, and they've tackled so many issues and destroyed so many different things on the left and the right that you can't cancel them. You can't. They are uncancelable, if that's a word. And it's fucking amazing because they are able to speak for the silent majority. Trust me, both sides are getting attacked in this episode. And we're not good. If you haven't noticed, we're not sitting here offended. We're actually excited and we're happy and we're passionate because somebody finally went there. It's like Christmas morning. So what I would simply say, and we'll wrap this episode up because I think you can kind of get the gist of what we're trying to get here. Number one, do yourself a favor. Go and watch this. It's on Paramount, streaming right now on Paramount. I'm sure you can find it through other means that you should do legally. And take it with a grain of salt. Just enjoy it. Have a good laugh. Don't be offended. This is not we won on the left or we won on the right. This is just giving us a good laugh. Poking fun at people. Poking fun at the world. Poking fun at everybody. It's fiction. It's for cartoon characters. Could we just, as Jack Nicholson said in Mars Attacks,
why are you doing this? Why? Isn't the universe big enough for both of us? What is wrong with you people? We could work together. Why be enemies? Because we're different? Is that why? Think of the things that we could do. Think how strong we would be. Earth and Mars together. There is nothing that we could not accomplish. Think about it. Think about it. Why destroy when you can create? We can have it all, or we can smash it all. Why can't we work out our differences? Why can't we work things out? Little people. Why can't we all just get along?
It really is not rocket science when it comes to this stuff, people. It really isn't. And I hope and I pray, I really do hope that these executives for Disney, for Fox, for whatever, 20th Century Fox, whatever it might be, these huge movie studios or streaming services, you know, Amazon Prime and Netflix, I really hope you take this, the reaction from it, and I really hope you decide to change. Because we all know it is a fact, you cannot hide it, that you are losing billions of dollars, you are losing millions of subscribers. You are doing nothing but losing right now. All it really just comes down to is because you think that XYZ is what we want in our content. I've told you, Marvel is dead, Star Wars is dead. These used to be great stories, great characters, great worlds, and they've been destroyed by a bunch of CEOs and executives that think they know better than you. And guess what? It took South Park to give you the middle finger. With all of that said, folks, I want to send a huge thank you to everybody that continues to support Spot of Nerd. Please, out of pity for me, hit that subscribe button right down below. Throw me a like. Comment, have you seen it yet? Have you seen this episode of South Park yet? Tell me in the comments if you have and what your thoughts are. Or even just the overall conversation. Do you think this is a step forward? Honestly, do you really think this is a step forward into hopefully getting these people to change? To give us the stories and the characters that we love back? So that we can finally go back to escaping and enjoying and having passion for what we truly love, our hobbies, everything in between. I really do hope this is what is the first page in a long, hopefully not long, but in a book that eventually leads to a happy ending. Not that kind of happy ending. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys next time. Later, y'all. You know we can't finish this episode up with, you want to see something incredible? Gina Carano. Look her up if you don't know who she is. I'm pretty sure the majority of you know who she is. She was fired from Disney, from The Mandalorian, because of her viewpoints. And yet Disney wants strong female characters. Yeah, we don't need to go down that road. Her Twitter response, her ex response to this South Park episode is absolute gold. I encourage you to go check it out. It's a lengthier post, but what it comes down to is she sticks some of the biggest middle fingers to Disney and a certain somebody at Disney that is just absolutely priceless. And I encourage you to go check it out because she deserves it. She deserves to, you know, she doesn't deserve to be fired, but she deserves to have like a redemption. And I think, you know, she got a little bit of it with the Daily Wire. I hope she gets her redemption one day because I think she's amazing. She's a beautiful, amazing actress. And I think she got completely shafted by Lucasfilm. They want strong female characters and that's what they got. Funny how just because she had a different viewpoint, they didn't like that so much. this was her moment to kind of basically give it right back, and I admire the hell out of it.
I'm going downtown.